And first up, we look at Korea, as Yang Min-hyuk now having 2 caps for South Korea. Could he be on that plane? Because Korea are already qualified. We know Sonny, he's pretty much, we call him a Spurs player, even if he's not, Tottenham legend through and through. So those two could definitely be going to the World Cup. It'll be interesting if Yang Min-hyuk does go to the World Cup, if he can, he won't be starting, but can he come on the bench, make a bit of a difference? How far can Korea actually go in this World Cup? Obviously, it depends a lot on the draws that these countries get, but Korea, they've been surprising a lot of teams recently. In the last international break, they wiped the floor a bit with the USA, and you would have thought that would have been a much harder game for Korea. They had a really good game against Mexico. It ended up being 2-2, but, there was a last-minute equaliser from Mexico. So, yeah, I mean, Korea surprising a lot of people, and I think they'll do a lot better than maybe some people anticipate.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great for the experience for Yang Min-hyuk to go there. Obviously, you'd imagine it would be Sonny's last World Cup for sure, and he'll want to go out with a bang. And you just never know with Korea, do you? I mean, we don't, like I said, don't know the group stages, but I think they could certainly get past the first stage. And obviously Sonny now playing in or could be playing in the country he now plies his trade. Don't know if they'll be there or Canada or Mexico, but I think they get out of the group stages at least.
Yeah. Japan, Kota Takai, they're already there. Is Kota Takai actually going to be called up? Is he ever even going to train for Tottenham Hotspur? We don't know, but he has had 4 caps to date with Japan. So if he can get his career back on track from now until the end of the season and prove his fitness and get a few minutes for Tottenham, you never know, he could be on the plane.
Yeah, well, that's going to depend on a lot more minutes. I mean, if you look at it, when he does start training, does he figure a lot for Tottenham?
That's the thing,
Does he figure a lot for Tottenham if he is fit, or if we do bring in another defender? Do we send him out on loan? What I will say, the Japanese team is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. They really are an improving nation, and they could surprise some people. But I think Kota Takai, the only way he could probably get on that plane is if he goes on loan, because at the moment he's not getting, like we've heard, like Solanke and everyone, they're almost there. They're on the grass. No, they're not. So it's a big few months for him. But will Japan, if he hasn't played a lot of minutes, see him as a vital player that he'll be good enough and we need him? That's the other thing.
Yeah. It depends on how highly they value him. With him playing, having 4 caps already, if he proves his fitness from now until then, could he be taken as the kind of like 4th, 5th choice, however long or how many centre-backs it is? So that's that. Argentina qualified, obviously, as World Cup winners, but they did have to qualify because that rule has changed. Cuti Romero, 45 caps for Argentina, vice-captain to Messi, the heir to the throne. He is going to be the future captain of Argentina. We all said 3 years ago when Argentina won that World Cup, it's Messi's last World Cup.
Yep.
It looks like he is going to be going back for another one with the way he's playing in the MLS, top goal scorer there. I don't know if he's signing a contract. There was a bit of a cryptic post on social media a few days ago with him in the new camp and saying, could he be going for last swan song at Barcelona? We don't know. But it looks like Messi will be going to this World Cup. But Cuti Romero is obviously going to be a standout performer for Argentina again, and they're going to be one of the favourites for the tournament.
Yeah, probably, or if not the favourites, I'd say. Yeah, you can expect them to go far, couldn't you? I mean, it's great to see him going. Like you said, you say it will be Messi's last World Cup. Well, surely this one will be. And then he will be the heir to the throne. Club captain, international captain, big things for Cuti. And he was great at the last World Cup, wasn't he?
It's bad, isn't it, to think about, like, when's the last time Spurs have had the captain of such a big nation? Like Argentina, World Cup winners, Cuti Romero. And still, a lot of people don't give him his, the praise that he deserves. I mean, did you see those comments from Stuart Pearce the other day on Romero? Romero was like, Stuart Pearce was basically calling Romero a liability.
Okay. I mean, could you imagine those two in the changing room in their pomp?
Yeah.
God, that would be pure cinema. Stuart Pearce and Romero. Listen, Stuart Pearce was an incredible left back. And what a player to have in your dressing room for motivation, for setting high standards. But I think you're wide off the mark here.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's Cuti Romero, definitely going to be at the World Cup. Next up, Brazil have qualified as well with Richarlison with 52 caps. It's mad to think about. Richarlison has more caps for Brazil than Romero has for Argentina. which
I
is
thought you were about to
crazy.
say more caps for Brazil than he has appearances for Tottenham.
Well,
That's what I thought you were going to say.
someone needs to check that. Has he had more than 52 appearances for Tottenham?
Do you know what?
He might not do, not Premier League anyway.
Let's have a look.
It should be around about that. Does Richarlison have more caps for Brazil than Richarlison does at Tottenham Hotspur? I reckon it's pretty tight,
Premier League appearances has Richarlison.
I'll do it easier way.
Played for Spurs.
No, he's had more than that.
Oh, he has?
Yeah, he's had more than that.
Oh.
Not
81.
two. Yeah.
81, okay. But going on about, what was the question? Sorry, I got lost when we were trying to do that.
There was no question. I was just saying Richarlison going to be at another World Cup. We saw what he did in the last World Cup with the overhead kick and everything. I think he'll be further down the pecking order this time. In the last game, they played 4-2-2-2 formation against Senegal. They had Cunha and Vinicius up front. They had Rodrigo and Estival behind. Estival seems to be scoring every game for Brazil. Scored again last week with Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes protecting them. But I mean, with players like Vinicius, Cunha, Rodrigo, Estival, I can't really see Richarlison getting a look in, to be honest.
I can't, but do you know what it is with Brazil as well? Again, I'm lucky.
Got João Pedro as well.
When I look at Brazil as a World Cup now, as a World Cup team, I don't look at them how I used to look at them in the 90s and early 2000s, because you just knew the samba football, the flair, like the Harlem Globetrotters of football. They're a more disciplined and structured team now, aren't they? And they haven't got the Ronaldos or the Romarios, Rivaldos, Ronaldinhos of that quality. So I don't even... you always have a worry about Brazil, but I don't think they're one of the favourites. And Richarlison, like you said, I can't see Richarlison being a starter, especially on the current form.
Yeah, I agree. But you never know what can happen coming off the bench. Can he make an impact?
Yeah.
He always seems to make some sort of an impact. But yeah, definitely stay fit for World Cups. So that's Richarlison. He's Brazil most definitely going to be going. Ghana have qualified as well with Mohamed Kudus. I mean, Mohamed Kudus in the last World Cup had a really strong tournament, didn't he? Got the move to West Ham off the back of it, and I expect him to have a big tournament this time as well. And 46 caps, Mohamed Kudus for Ghana, and he's going to be central to them once again.
Yeah, he is pivotal to them, isn't he? And he, like I said, had a great World Cup, and if he plays at the sort of form he has in the early part of his Spurs career, then Ghana are a team not to be messed with.
Senegal have also qualified. And it's mad that Ghana qualified for the World Cup, but they didn't qualify for the AFCON, which is great for us because we don't lose him. But Senegal, Papi Matar Sarr, he's obviously a very important player for Senegal. Yeah. He's had 37 caps. So, I mean, if he's fit, he's definitely going to be going to the World Cup.
100%.
England. Now, England is an interesting one because we've got Jed Spence, we've got James Maddison, we've got Dominic Solanke. James Maddison is not likely to be fit until around May, around about that time. So I think you can count Maddison out for the World Cup. Jed Spence, I think, at this moment in time, I think he's pretty likely to be going to the World Cup. Whether in a starting role or not, he's likely to be in the squad. Dominic Solanke is an interesting case because I was talking to you off air a bit before. I was like saying England's number 9s actually don't look too strong. If Ivan Toney's not going to be considered because he's playing in Saudi, you've got Harry Kane, you've got James Maddison, you've got Ollie Watkins. Who else is there? If Solanke can prove his fitness and a bit of form in the second half of the season, could he be on that plane?
I think the thing with this as well is when you look at it, as we were saying off air as well, I think Rashford is going to be, obviously we think Rashford will go, whether it's to be used on the left or as a striker. So you've got that. So would you put Rashford in there as well, or do you think he's only going to play him at left wing? I'm trying to think of other strikers, and I can't really think of any that are really blowing up the scene. I mean, Ivan Toney, if he does not get a move, whether it's to us or...
There's Delap as well.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you got Delap. He got injured recently, didn't he? Or at the start of the season.
He's back now,
He's back now. Okay, so he's got a chance to pull for it. but there isn't that many. I mean, I remember growing up again. You had Sheringham, Shearer, Wright, Ferdinand. Like you had Dion Dublin. You had like elite
Owen,
strikers. Like
yeah.
Owen Fowler. You could list them easily. It's not that easy right now in the striker position, is it?
No, it seems like we've got like a host of talent in like the attacking midfield areas, on the wings, like these kind of positions. But in the number 9, but to be fair, we got Harry Kane. So if Harry Kane stays fit,
Exactly.
then it's not a problem.
Exactly. If Harry Kane stays fit, then there's not. But you need it obviously for the squad game. If you need to rest him like at 80 minutes, you need players to be able to come on and do the job.
Do we need to take 3? Is 2 enough?
Well, I think you take 3 anyway because, like we were saying, I think Rashford goes anyway. So it could be Watkins, Kane, and Rashford who'll be there on the left, but can go up top. So I think 2 out-and-out strikers may be the number because I don't think there is anyone unless, like we said at the beginning of this, Solanke comes back in and just has an absolute sensational rest of the season and stays fit.
How many goals do you think Solanke has to score this season to get on the plane?
Well, first of all, we've got to think, when does he actually get back on the pitch? Because that's going to have a huge...
Let's say for argument's sake, he's back in January.
He's back in January.
Yeah. How many goals from January to the end of the season do you think he would need to score to be in Thomas Tuchel's plans?
15.
You think that's a big ask?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
That's a massive ask. 15 goals from January to the end of the season.
Or should we say, all right, let me change that. 15 goal contributions.
That's
15
more.
15 goal contributions.
Even that's a big ask,
It's
to
a
be
big
fair.
ask. But you think with Kudus and whoever comes in, Simmons, if you want to get yourself on the plane, you're going to have to do something
Special.
to get there.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to show, most importantly, your fitness to stay fit, which is the massive thing with him.
How many do you think he'll get?
Why are we doing this? I've said, and I said it before he got injured, I think under Frank could get him scoring because of the way he plays, the way he's done it with Tony, and the way. So if he stays in the box and we do start crossing it in and using his aerial ability, and Kudus can get them in, and let's say we have a left winger, and Odegaard finds form if we don't sign a left winger with crossing, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I think he could get 10.
Okay.
I think he could get 10 goals.
Goal contribution.
No, goals.
Oh, goals.
I think he could get 10 goals across all competitions.
Ah, okay. Add in that caveat.
Oh, okay. In the Premier League, let's go. All right, let's go from January to May. No, I'll stick at 10. I'll stick at 10 in Premier League.
Is he part of the Champions League squad?
I can't remember if he was added.
Because if he's not added, then there's not. It pretty much is just Premier League and FA Cup.
Well, if we qualify, then he can.
Yeah, he can go. Yeah,
around,
yeah. All right, well, that's that. Let us know what your thoughts are on the Dominic Solanke situation. France have qualified. Randall Kolo Muani is an interesting one. 31 caps for France. He actually played a pretty big part in the last World Cup, coming off the bench, looking good at times. Obviously, there was that big save from Martinez that everyone remembers against Argentina. Muani was called up to this squad and obviously pulled out because of the injury. Can he make the World Cup? Does he need to have a big second half of the season to make it? Or, you know, it's not like he blew it. You know, he played slightly well in some of the games, but got called up off the back of it.
We look at that, and we were just talking about how many goals Solanke needs. I completely forgot about adding Muani in the competition for places.
Yeah. To be fair, I think Muani was called up because of like injuries to like Ousmane Dembele and
exactly. Well, yeah, we look at it. Let's just go from what we've seen in Muani at Spurs right now. Obviously, we've seen some great build-up play, some great energy, some great hold-up play. But when it's come to shooting, he's had air shots.
Yeah.
He's put that one wide.
Such little minutes though. It's not much to go on, is there?
It's a very, very small sample size. There is a play there. I think he will get amongst the goals. But well, I'll tell you what benefits both for Spurs is should Solanke and Muani both be fit, like we were saying, January, they have both got mad motivation for competition for places to be firing, haven't they?
Yeah.
To try and force their way into their country's World Cup squad.
Yeah.
So that could be great for Spurs.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. Imagine that. You got two strikers fighting tooth and nail to come in. I'm proud they're just fighting tooth and nail just to be in the Spurs team and score goals for Spurs instead of getting on their international World Cup level, but it is what it is. Croatia have qualified as well. Luka Vuskovic just made his first start for Croatia. Can Luka Vuskovic make it to the World Cup squad? You think he's going to make it?
Yeah. If he carries on with what he's doing in Germany,
Yeah.
I think it's an absolute shoo-in. No chance he's not on that plane.
And what an experience it will be for him, you know, at his age,
Yep.
to keep going up the levels that he's doing, to keep surprising people, and the numbers that he's, you know, everything that goes, that what Luka Vuskovic is doing right now, to make it to a World Cup at what, 18? It'll be an absolutely unbelievable experience for him.
Oh, it will be. Look at the youngsters that England have done it with, like Theo Walcott. It's even if they don't get the minutes, what an absolute incredible. And it'll probably be, or it will be. I don't know. Is Luka Modric still playing for Croatia?
I think so.
So,
I think
you,
so.
you can pretty much say that would be his last World Cup as well.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, he's 40.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he has retired from international football, but if he's going as well, I mean, what an experience.
Yeah, he started in the last game.
So what an experience for him. I mean, Ronaldo has said he's quitting Portugal at the end of this World Cup.
Even Perisic is still starting for them.
I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of players around the world that this will be their last swan song for their countries. Just an incredible opportunity for Vuskovic to be with the national team, experience something that he's going to experience a lot throughout his career.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he stays fit and carries on doing what he's doing. He's an absolute slam dunk for going to the World Cup.
Mental, isn't it? We're talking 2026. Modric, Perisic, Ronaldo, Messi, still going to World Cups.
Yep. Well, you know what? You look at it, it just shows like people like Harry Kane and like Ryan Giggs did with the aerobics and everything. Not aerobics. What's it called? What's it called?
It was a Pilates and yoga and
Yoga.
stuff.
That's the word I wanted. Yoga. It just shows these players are now, because of sports science, nutrition, and everything, they are conditioning themselves and they are playing a lot longer. So it is mad to think about, because back in the day, they were all in the pubs, having a cigarette or whatever. Now they are looking after their bodies properly and they are playing for longer. And we've been blessed with their talents for longer than we thought.
Yeah, absolutely. So Portugal qualified, I think, last night or 2 days ago. João Palhinha will be going to the World Cup. I don't think he'll be getting many minutes at the World Cup, but I think he'll be going as part of the squad. He always gets called up. He just hasn't seemed to be getting any minutes, really.
I think World Cup, it may be, not that it'll start, but I think it'll get more minutes, because if they're winning and they start needing to hold on to games,
Yeah.
he's the perfect player you bring on and say, right, just do what you do and be that defensive insurance and that battering ram. I think he will get minutes in the World Cup, but off the bench mainly.
Yeah, it looks as though they kind of favour Ruben Neves, Vitinha and João Neves in the middle of the park. So Ruben Neves being the kind of sitter of the two. Vitinha is just...
incredible.
Mate, what a player Vitinha is. And I can understand why... João Palhinha is not getting minutes. Look, I mean, Ruben Neves obviously playing in Saudi right now, so the Portuguese manager doesn't see it the same as Thomas Tuchel or the English setup in terms of calling players up from the Saudi league. But Ruben Neves, you know, he's a player that can move the ball and pass. He's got unbelievable passing ability, and it's just something that João Palhinha doesn't have.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that is a great midfield. The one thing I'll say about Ruben Neves and the Portuguese manager playing him, would you say... England, I would say, have a massive more sample size and more players to use than Portugal do. So maybe Portugal are using it. Listen, he is a very good player. He's a player I would have loved at Spurs at any point before going to the Saudi League. I still love him at the club now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a very strong midfield, isn't it?
Yeah. He's only 28.
It's ridiculous.
Ruben Neves. All right. So the next three are countries that haven't qualified yet, but are more or less done, like the Netherlands, like we mentioned before. They need a massive goal swing against them, like 10, 15 goal, however many it is, for them to get knocked out. And they are playing Lithuania tonight, so I highly doubt that's going to happen. So Mickey van der Ven, Javi Simmons, they're going to be nailed on to go to the World Cup, and it's going to be interesting. Everyone's going to have, all Spurs fans are going to have eyes on Mickey van der Ven's hamstring as at a World Cup, because he'll be playing at left back.
Mate, all people are having eyes on Mickey van der Ven's hamstrings this evening. Let's hope he's unused subbed or rested, because it's a game they really don't need to win, do they? It's literally...
Yeah, if they lose 5-0, they're probably still going in, going through.
So, exactly, they're not going to lose 5-0 to Lithuania.
No.
So let's hope he's not used too much tonight. But coming to when they do qualify, he is a certainty on the plane. He is an absolute given.
I think Mickey is going to be one of the stars of the World Cup, to be honest. I really do.
Let's hope his contract is signed.
Yeah.
Like a very big contract is signed before New Year, let alone before the World Cup.
And Xavi Simons, I mean, he's definitely going to be going to the World Cup, has been limited to like bench opportunities in the last few games for the Netherlands, but I expect him to get his chance tonight, though. And I think, if he does play tonight, it's a big opportunity for him to get a few goal contributions and get that confidence up.
Yeah, and most importantly, in being very selfish for us, it will give us confidence going into the NLD.
Yeah.
It's going to be a game like he's never experienced. Obviously, he's had derbies where he's been, but this game is unlike any other. And hopefully he will get the minutes. Hopefully the Dutch coach will give him the time and he can come back all guns firing, ready to rip Arsenal apart.
Yeah. Spain, all but qualified, so they're going to be at the next World Cup, barring something absolutely mad to happen tomorrow night, another big goal swing. So Pedro Porro is going to get his probably first starting role at a World Cup at right back. Kevin Danso, he's going to be going to the World Cup with Austria as they just need to, well, it's not a definite because they need to avoid defeat to Bosnia tonight. On Tuesday night for them to qualify, and they are favourites for that game, so you'd expect that to happen. But if that does happen, Kevin Danso will be going to the World Cup. Probably, I don't know. Like, he hasn't been starting much, so I imagine it will be more of a bench role for Danso at the World Cup if they do make it.
Yeah, I mean, we depends what we have for the rest of the season. How we're regularly placed for us, isn't it? But it'd be great for these players and. To go to the World Cup, and Kevin Danso will richly deserve it.
And in terms of the playoffs, I think Wales have got a massive game. I think tonight, is it tonight or tomorrow, where they play against North Macedonia. So if they win, they go to the playoffs, and we'll see what Brennan Johnson has to say about that. With that, it'd be great to see Brennan in the World Cup, to be honest. And is that it for the playoffs? Is there any other Spurs players going potentially in the playoffs?
Not that I know of.
So we don't have any Irish players. So that's it. That is every Spurs player that could be potentially playing at the World Cup next summer. So I can't wait for the World Cup. Nothing better than a World Cup, is there, man?
Mate, I have never looked forward to a World Cup.
Yeah, I bet you haven't.
More in my life. Honestly, do you know what? When they announced where this World Cup was going to be, it was 8 years ago. I just moved to Canada, and Toronto specifically. And when this draw came out and they said the World Cup, it seemed like years and years away. It's round the corner. I cannot wait to experience. Always wanted to be. I've been here for Euro '96, but I've always wanted to be living in a host nation for a World Cup. Never in my life did I think that would be in Canada, but honestly, I just cannot wait for this World Cup more than any other. Forget where I think England can do. This is just going to be an experience like no other, and I cannot wait to enjoy it.
Is there anything better than like the group stages of an international tournament? I know the football gets intense and really good later on in the tournament, but the group stages, you got 3-4 games a day of football. It's just unbelievable, man. Just non-stop football.
It's great, but some of these games, depending what part of, like if it's Toronto or east side of America, it's a 5-hour earlier time. Sorry, 5 hours. So if it's a 3 p.m. kickoff here, in Toronto, then you've got it it'll be 8 p.m. for you.
Yeah.
But then if it's all the way over in the West Coast, there's going to be an 8-hour time difference for you. It's mad. I remember the Korea World Cup, the Korea and Japan World Cup, where it was the pubs were open early. That was an incredible World Cup.